fire-breathing dragon edition of a Woman Wednesday on Liquid Lunch. You're watching Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tobacco. We're coming today live as we do every single day from the Question Tequila Studios. And boy, Frank Morano joins me, of course. Frankie, we are fortified today.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're gonna go with a host of different gags and celebrate.
Well, first, John, let's straighten this out a little bit. That's better.
I'm struggling with this tie all morning.
I see that.
Yes, you at home, you may be wondering why I'm wearing a turkey on my head and a tuxedo at the Wild Women Wednesday edition, but that's because after the show today, we're having a wild grand opening
You're
party.
a turkedo.
And I'm so pleased with our progress. So to ring in the celebration, I'm grossly overdressed, but it's our party.
It is gross, that's for sure.
I'm going.
But you get it? Turkedo. It's a portmanteau of turkey and tuxedo. It's like turducken.
We're going to have a turquedo a little later on.
That's right.
Before we get into today's great show, check out down the street at the New York Stock Exchange. The Dow Jones is at 28,122, up about 40 points today, and record high after record high. More positive, at least, thoughts coming out of the China trade talks. People think phase one is going to be done. China is making sounds that they're going to start cracking down on IP theft in China. And that's telling the markets that maybe the Chinese are going to come to the table more looking to pursue a much more positive tone in getting to phase one. So the Dow's up. Bitcoin is 7,200. And Frank, joining us in the first hour, Dr. Lauren Wright. She's
I'm
been
excited.
with us many times before. She's a professor from... Well, twice as many to me. This guy, you know, those of you who watch every day at the end of the show, he corrects all my mistakes in the WTF, what's the facts. He will try to correct that later because I said many and he said twice. Let me off the hook on that.
Yeah, that's right. You
in
get
any
one
event, you should be happy when Dr. Lauren Wright's here because she's an amazing guest. She's on the campus of Princeton University. She's in touch with what the youth are learning and all those great things and talks about public policy. We're going to get into that. Zen Sams is here.
Oh, yeah. We have a star-studded lineup.
Producer of The Protocol, a short film about mental health awareness, and she was a blockbuster hit the last time she was on.
Well, even greater hit the time before that.
The first time was amazing.
Yes.
But I feel like today I saw her earlier. She's pumped up. And
absolutely.
Everyone's talking about impeachment. Impeachment. Many people
and we will.
are saying
we're going to talk about
a witch hunt.
Yeah, we're going to
It's
talk
a
about
hoax.
Yeah,
fake news.
The president had his big rally in Florida yesterday. But yes, people should watch this Thanksgiving Eve edition of Liquid Lunch because we have a bevy of beautiful women who also happen to be very talented and very smart on Women Wednesday. And no matter where you fall on the political spectrum, David Eisenbach and John Burnett, between the two of them, when they mix it up next hour, they have a political view that will somehow reflect whatever yours is. But not
so
impeachment.
I have to wait, because usually when we mix it up, the slogan is I throw out the topics, they duke it out and mix it up, I mix a drink. That's usually when I have my first drink, so I have to wait till the second hour today to have a cocktail?
I think it's for the best. We have a party later, so you don't want to get too drunk too early.
No,
you don't want to get drunk
I never
before
get
people
drunk.
come.
We're drinking fake alcohol
I know,
all the time,
yes.
but I'm saying
I
act like it's Dean Martin type thing.
That's right. That's right.
It's iced tea.
That's right. One of the many things you have in common with Dino Paul Crocetti. All right, now, impeachment, that's on the menu for our Thanksgiving Eve edition of the program. The president's rally last night, a lot of movement in the Democratic presidential race. We're going to get into all that with our star-studded lineup of guests. A lot of things happening in the world of Hollywood, modeling, and music, but none of those are what I am speaking, frankly, about. Now, I know tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and tomorrow is supposed to be a big football holiday, but you know what makes Thanksgiving so special? Unlike other holidays like Christmas or New Year's Day, Thanksgiving is a uniquely American holiday. And when you talk about the history of America, at least when it comes to sports and sports entertainment, the sport that's most identified with the history of America, and it's even been called the nation's pastime, isn't football, as great as it might be. It's baseball. I don't think anybody said it better than James Earl Jones's character did in Field of Dreams. Take a look at this. All right, well, James Earl Jones, you'll remember, played a character who was a writer, kind of a hero, gets brought back by Kevin Costner's character to the Field of Dreams to meet all these old ball players, and he's talking about what baseball has meant to history and to America.
Done through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
Nice thing about baseball is that not only is it a part of our past, but it has always been a big part of our future. Fathers look forward to having sons just to play baseball with them, to bring them to a baseball game, to teach them how you should lead from third base, and why a sacrifice fly doesn't count as an official at-bat. But that future is being destroyed right now by Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred. Rob Manfred has unveiled a plan to completely disband, to destroy, to eliminate 42 minor league teams in America. Now, that's about a quarter of all the minor league teams in America. This not only includes my hometown team of the Staten Island Yankees, it includes the Binghamton Rumble Ponies, the Billings Mustangs, team after team, the Burlington Royals, all around the country.
Rats now?
Well, no, they're going to be gone. Pizza Rats, Staten Island Yankees, whatever. They're going to be gone. All around the country.
There's an inventive name.
All around the country, they're going to be destroying 42 minor league teams. Now, what does this do? Not only does this put thousands of players and thousands of personnel out of work, not only does this ruin a tremendous baseball experience for these communities, and where a lot of these fans fall in love with baseball for the first time because they don't have $200 to buy luxury box seats, but instead they can go to a game for $15, but this is a kick in the gut to the very spirit of the community. A lot of these are small towns, and these baseball centers are centers of community. And a lot of these cities have actually spent millions of dollars to build new stadiums for these teams that are about to be eliminated. Now, why are they doing this? You think nobody's showing up to minor league baseball games? No. Minor league baseball attendance is up for the 16th straight year. In fact, if you add the combined attendance of all these 42 teams that they're going to eliminate, there's not one Major League Baseball team that even beats that. This is all due, and I got to give a shout out to somebody that I don't always agree with, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. In his letter to Rob Manfred, he called them out and pointed out that even though they're making hundreds of millions of dollars from these baseball teams that are going to be eliminated, that the real reason Manfred is doing this is due to greed. Bernie Sanders pointed out that minor league baseball players make as little as $1,100 a month. That's less than $7.25 an hour. That's less than the federal minimum wage. And they're denied overtime pay. So the 20 wealthiest Major League Baseball owners have a combined net worth of more than $50 billion. This is
Tell them to chip in.
Yeah, this is only about greed. As he said, and I'm quoting from Bernie Sanders' letter to Rob Manfred, your proposal to slash the number of minor league teams has nothing to do with what's good for baseball, but it has everything to do with greed. Your proposal to throw about 1,000 ball players out of work comes less than 3 months after an appeals court ruled that minor league ball players could move forward with a class action suit seeking higher wages. In other words, instead of paying minor league players a living wage, it appears that the multimillionaire and billionaire owners of Major League Baseball would rather throw them out on the street no matter how many fans, communities, and workers get hurt in the process. Let me tell you something. As somebody that worked in and around minor league baseball for years, this is a kick in the gut. And if the baseball commissioner thinks this is a wise way to get new fans, it's no wonder that Major League Baseball continues to go down in attendance year after year. This guy ought to get a clue. Otherwise, Major League Baseball ought to get a new commissioner. I hope everybody lets their Major League Baseball team know and their minor league baseball team know that they're not happy about this, whether you live in one of these 42 cities or not.
Call your congressman. Right there.
And everybody else.
Yeah, everybody else. You worked up.
I am. I'm
Can
fired up
somebody get
about
this guy
this.
a cold drink? He's sweating already in segment 1. That's no good. You might be wondering
Let's talk
why
about more
I'm
relaxing
in a tuxedo
topics, like
and there's a
impeachment.
cold antipasto on the table. Because our friends over at Freddy's Gourmet, who always provide us with food for everything, They send us a little cold antipasto
Love
along
Freddy's
with
Gourmet.
all the other food we're going to be having at the party.
You know,
tonight.
I happen to marry a non-Staten Islander, as you know, John, and Freddy's is in Staten Island. So whenever her many relatives, she's one of 9. So whenever her many relatives come to visit Staten Island, the first thing I do is take them to Freddy's because I can't think of a spot that is more.
That's like so Staten Island.
Absolutely.
And the food's on point. Freddie and Danny are always down there. I run in at the last minute. I need 7 turkeys. I need 40 antipastos. And they're like, go in the walk-in box. And voila, it's all done. But those are our guys. We're going to be celebrating all day today. Erin Nicole joins us later. She's a glamour girl, Playboy model. And we're going to be talking about how social media has changed the modeling game.
You know,
we know
it's very interesting.
Francia James we had her on the show, and she went from social media star to Playboy cover
You know,
girl.
it's very interesting. I was talking with my friend Carol Alt recently about the modeling business,
Oh,
and she
so
said,
cool.
She
My
said-
friend Carol Alt.
Right. She said that the
Name drop.
Kardashians have ruined modeling as an industry and as a business.
You're quoting Carol
I
Alt
am.
on that.
I am.
Carol Alt said the Kardashians have ruined modeling.
That's right.
All right.
I'm
we'll see if
curious.
Erin Nicole
I'm
weigh
curious
in on
to
that.
ask Erin Nicole what role these social media platforms like Instagram have played in modeling.
Well, Kylie
as a
Jenner
business.
just sold a company for like $300 million
Well,
or
but
half
that's
a
the thing,
billion.
though,
So
John.
yeah,
I'm sure you as the-
it doesn't seem like she ruined it for herself.
Well, I'm sure you, as the father of 2 young women, see this. Is these women, they pose for social media selfies as if they're preparing for a glamour photo shoot.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, what does that do to the professional, you know, photographers out
What
there?
is this super sada going to do to my gut? That's the real question. Well, Malia Shah is going to be here a
Yes,
little later talking
very
about the music
talented
of business.
singer.
What else? I see we have a whole load of assets in the sheet today, the graphics. What else are we going to be covering in the John and Frank's?
We can cover whatever you want to cover. You know, there's certainly there's a lot of reaction to President Trump's rally in Florida last night, where he said, you'll be relieved to know this, folks, he will not be renaming Thanksgiving. We have exclusive video, which we're going to play for you next.
Fantastic. I didn't want to.
I don't know if it's exclusive.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I've never seen you agree with Bernie Sanders. I know you agree with him on some things, but I've never seen you so exaggeratedly.
Well, you know
in
why, though?
agreement
You know
with
why I think this strikes a chord with Bernie Sanders? Because he's a Brooklyn guy. He came from Brooklyn, and he knew what it was like to
Yeah,
be
he
able to
gets
go
it.
see a Brooklyn Dodgers game after school.
Well, you
now,
can still go see a Brooklyn Cyclones
That's
game
right.
because they're not on the list.
But for
and
how long?
AAA team in Brooklyn, my good friend Gary Perone is the GM, and they were the champions last year in the. I think they're in the A League, the Cyclones, but fantastic
Don't worry, I'll correct you.
franchise, the Mets. But I want to point out also, just going out of this segment, that Major League Baseball is spending hundreds of millions of dollars building academies, schools, and training facilities in foreign countries because they're recruiting players from foreign countries from when they're like 15 years old. So that's probably another reason why they want to eliminate minor league baseball teams, because they'd rather grow the players from scratch than have these regular Americans fighting to get up in the ranks in the major league. So that's just my 2 cents. Take a quick break. Coming back after this, Dr. Lauren Wright.